Meet Owen, a pragmatic man in his mid-30s navigating the sea of single life. Unburdened by kids or pets, his daily routine as a customer service rep at an insurance company has anchored him securely for the past decade. Owen is a steadfast individual, grounded in reality, unfazed by superstitions, and skeptical of the paranormal. One ordinary morning, amidst the humdrum of preparing for work, Owen's gaze landed on a strange sight. A solitary human tooth perched on his bathroom sink. It was a molar. Pristine and rootless, its presence puzzled him. A quick self-check confirmed none of his teeth were missing. Perplexed, but dismissing it as a curious anomaly, Owen shrugged off the incident and threw the tooth in the garbage. What? The enigma, however, persisted. The next day revealed another dental surprise. A human tooth lying on his coffee table in the living room. Confused a little, but ultimately he thought it must be the same tooth. Yeah, because teeth normally jump out of the trash and bounce over to the coffee table. This time, he put it in a Ziploc and tucked it away in the kitchen cabinet. A week later, a third tooth materialized in the heart of his kitchen, on his stove. He checked the tooth in the Ziploc and it was still there. Owen, now genuinely bewildered, shifted from unconcern to curiosity, prompting a quest for any logical explanations. The search for reason began as he dove into the rabbit hole of these misplaced molars. He was determined to unravel the peculiar circumstances that had intruded upon his ordinary life. Owen began looking for a logical reason why random teeth would start showing up in his house. His living alone and no pets eliminates quite a few, so it wasn't his pet's teeth. Not his roommate or wife pranking him. It wasn't his teeth falling out. Since he has no kids, it can't be baby teeth. Besides, these teeth were too big for a child anyway. He has friends from work, but they haven't visited him at home and didn't know where he lived. He took one of the teeth to his dentist for examination. The dentist told him the tooth was real and not fake, and looked pretty old but surprisingly clean. The dentist figured it was from around the early 1900s, so it was long in the tooth. Getting desperate, he took the tooth to the local sheriff's department. They ran DNA analysis on it, but it didn't come back to someone missing, killed, or wanted. Whew, that's a relief. Well, sorta. He still didn't know the origin of the strange tooth. Owen was just about out of ideas of where this tooth came from. The police advised him to install security cameras in the house. They said it's possible he has someone frogging in the house. Owen did one better. He got a monitored home security system with night vision and a .357 Magnum. The next morning when he woke up for work, he noticed another tooth. This time it was in bed with him. It was also a molar, but this one had a chip in the side. With concern building, he knew he had to shift gears to look in an alternative direction. the supernatural. He went online on several different platforms and asked about it. Most folks thought it was weird, and their explanations were more on the sarcastic, joking side. Reverse tooth fairy, a bad case of scurvy, a meth addict leaving a present, and an angry dentist. However, on Reddit, he got some interesting feedback. One was from a forensic anthropologist who asked to see a picture of the tooth. Owen took a picture of one of the earlier ones he found and uploaded it. The response was, "Well, it doesn't have roots, so it fell out naturally and wasn't pulled. It's definitely an adult human in relatively good shape. It looks like it came from someone in their 20s or 30s from about 100 years ago." As he continued crawling down the rabbit hole, he continued reading the responses. "It's a ghost materializing a tooth as something to remember them by. The dark arts use teeth for curses and spells. It's either witchcraft, hoodoo, or voodoo." Suddenly, he read a reply that was dark and foreboding and made a chill run down his spine. "If you have things changing locations in your home or showing up out of nowhere, that could very well be something malevolent. Be careful. Don't try to sage or make any confrontations on your own. If evil things are involved, it's best not to try to take them on yourself. These spirits can be tricky and things can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. If you smell anything foul like rotten eggs, leave and get help immediately." God damn, that got pretty fucking dark. Taken aback, Owen was torn. He's 100% skeptical of the paranormal, but there was no other explanation for it. A few days passed and nothing odd turned up or happened. Then one morning, about 3 a.m., he was awoken by a noise in the bathroom. It sounded like marbles or beads being dropped into the sink. He jumped out of bed and raced to the bathroom. When he got there, he was stunned. He saw what looked like 10 to 15 teeth lying in the sink. This is starting to sound like a horror movie, isn't it? He picked a couple of them up and looked at them closely. They looked very similar to the other ones he'd found. Some weren't as white as the others. As he put them down and turned to go back to bed, a horrible smell permeated the room. It smelled like sulfur. At first, he thought the toilet might be backed up. Damn, dude, what the fuck did you eat? But then he remembered the Reddit message about the rotten eggs. He grabbed a can of Febreze and sprayed it liberally in the air. For some reason, he could still smell the vile odor. Believing he may have a paranormal issue going on, you think? He searched online for paranormal investigators. While searching, his phone suddenly shut off. Getting a little concerned and fumbling with his phone, he turned it back on and located a local group of ghost hunters. He saved their information for later. When he arrived at his cubicle at work the following day, he saw something that stopped him dead in his tracks. A tooth was lying on his keyboard. At first, he thought it was a prank from someone at work, but he hadn't told anyone about the mysterious teeth he was finding. He pocketed the tooth, and went on with his day. As soon as Owen got home from work, the first thing he did was contact the ghost hunting crew he found earlier online. Their name was Haunt Hunters. They've been ghost hunting for the last 5 years. Owen wanted them to come over as soon as possible, but they had prior arrangements and couldn't investigate Owen's house until the weekend. Owen asked if there was anything he could do in the meantime. I don't know, call someone else maybe? They advised him of some ghost hunting apps that he could buy and do an impromptu investigation on his own. They said to let them know what kind of responses he got. It would tell them what kind of entity they should be looking for, what it responds to, and where in the house it's located. Still skeptical, but willing to give it a shot, Owen purchased 2 apps. One displayed words that the ghost chooses from an internal dictionary, kind of a way to talk to the ghost. And the other app used the phone's sensors to detect the ghost's movement and display the movement on the screen as a stick figure. Curious to see if it worked, Owen got started right away. As he walked from room to room, feeling a little silly, he asked questions to the empty rooms. The air seemed to get heavier. A sort of fog started forming in the air. At one point, a tooth fell from the ceiling and tapped Owen in the head. Nearly shitting himself, Owen angrily snatched it off the floor. "Who did that?" he yelled. He got no reply. "Is that all you can do? Manifest teeth?" Still no reply. He asked some more poignant questions, but again, everything fell silent. He figured he'd try his luck with the other app. He slowly walked around the dark house. He tried to keep his eyes on the screen as much as possible. Ooh. But he had to see where he was going. As he approached the bathroom, a stick man appeared. It was sitting on the toilet. Owen said, "I see you. Why are you sitting on my commode?" I guess even evil spirits have to take a shit once in a while. He continued to watch the stick man with its jerky movements. Shockingly, he heard a plop in the toilet. Did that thing just coax one out? He thought to himself. He slowly approached the shitter. As he did, the stick man vanished from his screen. Curious as to what ghost shit looked like, he looked into the toilet water. "Oh, come on. You know you would too." He didn't see anything in the toilet. He turned on the bathroom light and looked again. Upon closer inspection, he said, "Of course." In the bottom of the bowl was a tooth. Fighting back the repulsiveness, he reached into the toilet water and pulled it out. It looked very similar to the other ones he'd discovered earlier. He put it in a jewelry box where he kept all the others. He should make a necklace out of them. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Each day after work, Owen would do a short solo investigation. One day, he saw the ghost point to where a tooth was on top of the refrigerator. Another day, he had a broken conversation with one. He found out it was a male spirit about his age. It lived and died in his house. It didn't provide an answer about why all the teeth. And the last day, it didn't respond through either app. but he got some information for the haunt hunters. The haunt hunters arrived. As they unloaded their equipment, Owen advised them on what he captured during the week. The crew's leader, Nighthawk, said, "Interesting. A spirit that shits teeth." Man, that's got to be painful if you've got hemorrhoids. Goddamn ghost teeth! Owen was hoping their expertise in the paranormal might shed some light on the inexplicable appearances of the mysterious teeth. However, they had never encountered something like that before. Night fell and the atmosphere thickened as they embarked on their investigation. Multiple cameras rolled and electronic devices hummed to life, capturing every corner of the house in meticulous detail. They split up into two groups and launched the investigation. As the night progressed, Owen asked one of the ghost hunters if they'd seen or heard anything. One ghost hunter nodded and said, "Yes, I found something." He opened his hand and 2 more teeth were lying in his palm. He said, "One was lying on the couch over there and the other was on the floor beside the couch. You've got some fucked up shit going on here." Yeah, no shit. In the eerie stillness, the crew meticulously documented the paranormal pursuit. As a member of the crew was monitoring the cameras, he opened his eyes wide and said to himself, "What the fuck is that? Hey guys, something just appeared in the bedroom. I can't see what it is from here. Check out the nightstand in Owen's bedroom." To Owen's shock and the crew's amazement, a fresh tooth materialized out of nowhere on his nightstand, casting an unsettling glow on the supernatural nature of the dental mystery. The crew had no explanation. One minute, it was an empty table. The next, there was a tooth lying in the middle of it. No mist, no orbs, nothing. Just a tooth. Owen's journey into the unknown propelled him deeper into the shadows of the paranormal. The ghost hunt had brought on more questions than answers. As the days went by, the creepy teeth kept appearing. In the middle of the floor, on the toilet seat, on the floor of the shower, even inside an apple. Owen began smelling the sulfur again, only this time he could smell it in different rooms at the same time. Frustrated by the relentless paranormal disturbances, Owen decided to rid his house of the malevolent forces plaguing his home. He called the haunt hunters and asked if they could come back and do a cleansing of his house. They told him they didn't do that, but there's a paranormal group that does, Spirit Stalkers. He explained, "They investigate like we do, only with a metaphysical angle. They verify if a house is haunted, then they cleanse the area of the spirit. They make the ghost leave. They're very good. Here's their number. Give them a call." Owen thanked them and gave them a call. Excited and nervous, Owen eagerly waited for them to answer. His excitement deflated as it went to their voicemail. Owen left a message, his number, and hung up. An hour had passed, and Owen was about to get ready for bed. When his phone rang, instantly wide awake, he answered it on the first ring.
My name is Cyrus. I'm with Spirit Talkers. Is this Owen?
Yes, it is. Thank you for calling me back.
How could I help you, Owen?
Owen told Cyrus about finding all the teeth. He also told him of the strange smells he was getting from time to time. After he was done, Cyrus's voice rumbled back in.
I see. Now, let me tell you a little about Spirit Talkers. We go about ghost hunting with a different twist than most. We approach it from a spiritual and metaphysical standpoint. Each team member has a special ability that they bring to the table. I'm a practicing shaman. Aurora is a psychic. Dorian is a quantum physicist. And Bastion is a parapsychologist. We're a supernatural all-star team. It sounds to me like you're either cursed, possibly someone put a hex on you, you're experiencing a very bad omen, or you're haunted. Either way, we can help. I assume you wanted to leave.
Oh, fuck yeah. I want this goddamn thing out of my life.
Very well. We'll be over tomorrow around noon. Is that okay?
The sooner the better. Owen was too amped up to sleep now, so he made himself a few bourbon on the rocks and watched a little YouTube. He eventually went to sleep on the couch. The next morning, he woke up with something in his mouth. He spit it out on the floor. It was another fucking tooth. This one was kind of yellow with a cavity. Ew. He made coffee and breakfast and changed clothes. Maybe a little mouthwash? Maybe? Shortly after, he heard a knock at the door. Unlike the first set of ghost hunters, Spirit Stalkers hardly had any equipment. Dorian was carrying what looked like a small laptop in a pistol grip holder with a laser shooting out of it. Cyrus was swinging a smoking incense holder, and Bastion had a small electronic magnetic field reader. Their main tool, or weapon, was their bodies. They were all well in tune with their bodies and the space all around them. They could sense things much quicker and in greater detail than most folks. That being said, when they entered Owen's home, they all stopped. They just froze in place, looking forward. Not long, but long enough to think, what the fuck's going on? Cyrus spoke up.
I need to have a quick word outside with the team, Owen. Give me 1 minute.
The team stepped outside and closed the door. Owen could hear them, but couldn't hear what they were saying. The door abruptly opened. The team re-entered the house. At least this time they didn't space out. Cyrus said,
We had to have a quick team meeting after we felt the presence in here. Everybody's on board and ready to help you dispel of this foul being. They began testing for spikes in the electromagnetic field of the house. They got some spikes in the bathroom and the bedroom, so that's where they started focusing their attention. Aurora tried to use her telepathic abilities to contact the spirit. She got nothing. Bastion tried mentally linking with the creature to try to talk it into leaving, but couldn't make the connection, or it didn't last long enough to send the whole message through. Fucking Sprint. Their strategy unfolded with a deliberate series of actions. First, they conducted an exhaustive investigation.
analyzing the history of the dwelling, seeking patterns in the paranormal activity, and identifying potential points of vulnerability. Armed with this understanding, they strategically placed protective symbols and invoked ancient rites, creating a fortified barrier against the demonic entities. Each team member played a crucial role wielding instruments designed to detect and disrupt supernatural energies. From cleansing rituals to use of sacred relics, they left no ruined stone unturned. The atmosphere crackled with a blend of focused determination and cautious anticipation as they meticulously executed their plan. The culmination came with a solemn incantation, a collective effort to confront the evil head-on. They invoked spiritual forces, drawing upon the strength of ancient wisdom to sever the spectral ties that bound Owen to his tormentors. Despite their expertise and formal rituals, each attempt proved unsuccessful. The demon, or whatever it was undeterred and mocked Cyrus's pursuit to defeat it. The once subtle disturbances escalated into a cacophony of otherworldly power, exhausting the spiritual stalkers and pushing Owen to the brink of despair. In short order, Cyrus and Bastian were the only two remaining conscious. The other two were out cold from the mental exhaustion. Cyrus and Bastian picked up Sebastian and Aurora and carried them out to the car. Cyrus apologized to Owen and said,
"You need to move away from here. This thing won't follow you. It's attached to this property. However, you need to leave very soon."
Haunted by the failure of the spirit stalkers, Owen grappled with the chilling realization that the entities defying banishment might be more formidable than any ritual could dispel. The tooth manifestations casting a shadow over his life and sanity as the battle against the unseen adversaries took an increasingly perilous turn. Fearing for his own safety, Owen wore out from fighting it tooth and nail, made the gut-wrenching decision to relocate. With hope flickering like a distant light, he moved, yearning to escape the clutches of the supernatural forces that had tormented him. He moved into a small studio apartment across town. It was much smaller than his house, but getting away from the non-stop tooth phenomenon was worth it. He moved what he could fit into the apartment and put the rest into storage. Initially, the change of residence appeared to bring relief. The air felt lighter and the shadows seemed to recede and no more teeth were showing up. But as the days passed, Owen's newfound sense of peace was shattered. Teeth started appearing in odd places again. Certain areas of the apartment were ice cold all the time. And that revolting smell of rotten eggs filled the air once more. A cold realization settled in. The entities, like insidious phantoms, did not stay with the house. They followed him. The spirits bridged the gap between the mundane and the otherworldly, turning his escape into a harrowing pursuit. The once silent shadows now whisper a chilling truth. There's no refuge from the malevolent spirits that have become an inescapable part of Owen's unending nightmare. Believe it or not, this story was based on real encounters, many of them. A lot of folks have been finding random teeth in some very odd places. This subject was brought to my attention by my creative consultant. We both agree it's pretty fucking creepy. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of information about it on the web. What I did find was that a lot more than just a couple of people have experienced this. Initially, I would say this falls into the creepypasta genre. However, I think something more sinister is happening here. All the logical explanations given for it fell short. Like you're being pranked by someone, but they live alone and have the only key. It's your child's tooth, but they don't have any children. It's your dog's tooth, but they don't have a dog, and this doesn't even look like a dog's tooth. Of all the mundane explanations, you have a crackhead frogging your place from the attic seemed to be the only one with some merit. The paranormal explanations were plentiful, and they were all over the place. Several of them said it's a form of witchcraft. Others say it's hoodoo or voodoo. A few said it's an omen indicating you're gonna die soon or someone else close to you is gonna die. One commenter said it's a ghost trying to make its presence known, a sign of a haunting. Another said that finding teeth in some cultures is a good omen. It could be a combination of things. Whatever it is, it's pretty unnerving and creepy as fuck. Before we part ways, I want to give you a toothy thank you for watching this far into my video. You don't know how flattering it is to know that some of you actually make it this far. Y'all kick ass, man. I appreciate the hell out of it. I also want to thank you for joining me on this creepy ass journey of strangeness. Your unwavering curiosity and engagement made this all the more enriching and significant. I hope that this shared experience has deepened your understanding of the profound mysteries that continue to intrigue us, and that it inspired you to check out the weird shit that happens on an alarmingly repeated basis. Until next time, stay creepy!